My full name is Shakirullah, as I spelled it, Shakirullah, and my age is like I was born in 1997, so it's almost 20. It's my 25th year, and this August I will be 25 years, and I belong to Afghanistan, province Kabul, district Surubi, and currently I'm in Pakistan right now. He was added with me on my WhatsApp, like not WhatsApp, but on Messenger, and he was just we've been chatting a little bit, and then since the situation as the crises were building day by day in Afghanistan due to the entrance of Taliban, and everybody was just in fear of, better that we were in fear of death, and they were just very brutal that time. And since it was the second empire of Taliban in Afghanistan, so everybody was just in a lot of fear, and they just wanted to leave the country as soon as they could, and especially those people who were just serving in the previous government and with the other troops in Afghanistan, like foreigners and that all. So it was very tough and terrible. So it was extremely hard, but it was very horrible and dangerous as we traveled by border, and we left everything there in Afghanistan. So I still don't, when it comes to my mind, what I went through. At that time we were, because my brother, he was working with the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs in Afghanistan. He was also once worked with the US troops of engineering in Kabul, Afghanistan. And my father was also like a government servant at that time, but later he died. And then my brother was threatened several times in the previous government, but he continued his job. But since the crisis started, so he left the job, and just because he was threatened several times. And then he told me to leave the country, because we tried a lot to get out of Afghanistan to a foreign country. Like the evacuation process was that time continued. Many people just went through that, but we couldn't. So I just escaped and came back to Pakistan. So like we had no way, and we couldn't leave my family, my sisters and my mother alone at that time. And so my elder brother suggested me to get out and just come here to neighbor country through the border, as it was very difficult. My mother didn't let me, but my brother told me to go and find a way if we can come to as well. But my mom, she was just suffering from a lot of sicknesses as well. So I was just planning to take them here as well, but it's extremely hard here, just adjusting myself. Like it's starting back from zero, so I couldn't afford that. And recently she died, and my brother called me. As she was, she had the infection of sugar as well as the blood pressure, and she had breast cancer as well. But since my father died, she was also in depression, we can say that, and she was not mentally okay, because she knew everything. And then my brother was threatened several times, and after that my mom was getting a bit terrible. And since I came, and she was very worried about me every week, she was just, as there is no communication devices and no network at my village. So she used to talk to me after a week, 10 days, 12 days, and she was just sometimes crying and very worried. But I just told him about my situation, and since I just met Sir John, and he helped a lot, extremely, and I always be thankful to him. And I told her that I'm all right, and the situation is getting better and better. And I knew she was very worried, and due to her sickness, it was increasing. So it was all about her mental mind, because she was overthinking every day. And later, we heard that she left us. When the bad situations are in your mind and you get to a huge depression, so it affects the mind and then heart. So definitely she was suffering from a lot of illness, and later on she died. When I moved here, I had a friend from Pakistan. He was also edit on me on Facebook. And when I came him, before I was coming here, I just contacted him 2 days ago that I'm coming, and I don't know, I'm not aware of how we live the life there, but I just requested him to find me a place for a living, as he is in another province of Pakistan, like where I'm right now, but he just helped me for contacting here a man, and then he gave me a room, and I've been living here since August in the same place. I haven't moved I just wanted to move due to some work, because I search a lot here um, to find a job, and I also talk about it to John, and it was in the city side, but it was far away from me. And then I decided to move there, but it was very difficult and very expensive to shift there. And because I have nothing in my hand, whatever I had, I just lost in the past 6 months. So still today, as I told you that I'm on my way going home, I was just in search of something to do here, because where I'm right now, there is no facility of good jobs or working. And I'm just searching a lot, but hoping for the best. But I haven't moved since I came here. I'm in the same place. Um, my income is not like something that I work right now, but in the past 2 months, I just started working with different places. Like there was a supermarket. I went there and I just started ordering, like when the products arrived at the store, I was just settling them and their order, or like I was just helping, and he was just paying on a day basis. It was not much enough, but I was just collecting them. The burden that I have here is of my rent, and if I'm not worried about food or any other things, because I'm not very fancy these days, or I don't eat a lot. Just eating per once a day is enough. But the burden is of my rent, so I used to collect little for my rent on the daily basis. And still, I'm searching and working sometimes with a soup shop and supermarket. There is just ordering the things they tell me to do on a daily basis, sometimes 10 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours, sometimes 4 hours, depends on the situation of the store. So it's just like I'm working like a helper with them, but not a permanent work. The problem is I'm not a permanent resident here, and I have great skills and all these things, but the reason is that I'm not a permanent resident, and they don't allow me for working. I'm permanent, like I belong to Afghanistan, and when I got here, I just registered myself with the UNHCR. You may know about that. And they gave me a refugee card, no Afghan citizen card. It's a refugee card, and they gave me just to be a refugee here, because if nobody can harm, or sometimes the police asks, so I just show them that I'm a refugee here. And it's given by the UNHCR here in Pakistan. but we don't have the permanent resident like a national here. As as I shared with him about my life and the situation I was suffering from, so he taught me to be patient first of all, because he told me that it happens for a reason. And if these crises there and you just went to Pakistan and you left everything, so that is for a reason. And just he used to tell me about breathe. He taught me recently about breathing 3 rounds, and every round of 3 breaths. And at the last, it was just like inhale deeply and just hold it for a moment. When you close your eyes and you feel uh, like the bad hopes, the things, they are just coming out of your mind, and you feel that, and then you exhale that breath very like softly, so it all comes out. And after that, your mind is just like starts vibrating, and you see some things. I used to see an eye when I was closing my eyes at the last breath. I used to see eyes, sometimes a big eye at the root of the tree, different scenarios. So um, as you say, that what's your current situation right now? Um, the tough thing that causes me still a bit sad and upset is that I'm young and I have some skills and I need to do. And I told him that I'm just keen to work and I love to keep myself very busy. Um, because when I sit, so different thoughts comes to your mind when you're free. So here, since I'm here, I have nothing, no job, and even I asked Sir John that if there is anything that I can do on a virtual base as online, so I will definitely do it, no matter how hard, how long it is. But I just want to keep myself busy in doing some stuff. And here I'm searching for a work to work more, much more, and get something, and to support myself by myself and my family. But here I'm not finding that thing, and it causes me a lot of tough days and tough time. And if you remember last month, I was just very in stress that I had nothing in my pocket, and then I said what to do. I was not worried about eating or food or clothes. That things does not matter, but just about the rent, because I don't want to break my promises I make to someone or my word. So the landlord, he was just asking for it, and it was the only source of income for him. But I just promised him, and I had no way. I searched a lot, and I asked Sir John that I will just find a cart here. As yesterday, I also went there and just to sell some vegetables or fruits. So a small startup. I was thinking about that, but it also needs a support. So these things are causing a lot of problems right now, but I hope I can get out of here as well. Because life is here from zero right now. Like I've nothing in my hand, so I just want to build something and make it ongoing. So it's very difficult right now here. I'm just free here in Pakistan because there are no Taliban or like those things. They were in Afghanistan, but here, like I left my home, my everything there in Afghanistan. So and here in Pakistan, I have nothing in my hand. I just need a little push or a little support to start up something and just make it ongoing, like from basic, from zero. as I said, that I want to keep myself busy. There are many things, like I wanted to, yesterday, the day before yesterday, since last week I'm visiting, there is a place where people are, it's a very rush place, and they were just for fruits and vegetables, the fresh things. And I analyzed all the things there for the last few days. Then I just came to a conclusion, and I asked whether it's good for me or not, but it said yes. Uh, I asked several times, and then I asked Sir John. He also said it's a good idea. I wanted to start or build a small work, like to sell vegetables or fruits like that, because here I cannot get a suitable job that can support me, and a permanent one. So it's very difficult. So I just found it better to have my own startup than just to do that. He just told me that you can get out of here as well. If not, they would just need to be supported. And he found it well that he got me out of there, just to do something or to support them, to get them out or to support them. Um, all that is what I can do, or they wanted me to do. And if I get out of Pakistan, so the only way that I can, that I will support them. And when it is possible, then I surely will take them. If not, so I'll just keep supporting them, because they have nothing, no jobs there. They're just staying home with my sisters. I'm very thankful to Sir John that he helped me both mentally and financially. He was a best one, like since I've met and talked to him. And it was since more than a year we were just at it, but right up to now, he'd been very helpful and very supportive, and I've been very thankful to him so far. Uh, and words, it may not be enough to just thank him. So yeah, my father was just killed by them, and then my brother, he was threatened, and he was just kidnapped for almost 18 days in the province of Helmand, and he was just threatened, he was just beaten and warned as well. Then uh, it was all my father. He was a mayor of our village. After that, he was not in favor of the Taliban, so he just got killed by them. Then we left our village and get back to the central of Kabul, and after that, my brother, he was just kidnapped. So it was the threat that we got, and he was beaten as well. My father was not following them, and my since my brother was serving in the government, so he was just threatened for that reason, that he should leave that and he should not work for them. And as he was working for the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs, so he used to involve himself in different social communities, like they worked for women and youth. So they didn't allow him to work for that, and he threatened, because they don't like the woman to work and like in any organization. They don't support that. So due to that, he was just threatened and warned. But you see this situation, which since they came, they just banned the women from their works, and yet no woman is allowed to go to school or university. So far, they haven't let them, and they're not giving them. And the ministry of which were working for the rights of women, it's now completely banned and closed. They changed their name to something else, and they just And several times the women just protested, but they were beaten as well. So they don't allow that. They're not in the favor of that. As I said before, that I'm in a situation that I can not decide what to do, what not to do, but I just need a support here, as Sir John is, and he is very helpful. And thanks to you for just listening to my situation. And I just want to thank all of you. And I don't know till what time I will be like in this situation, but it's my time to work, to study, to gain, to explore. But since I'm like in these situations, it's extremely very hard for me. But I just hope for the best. I'm keeping my patience, my breathing, and my belief. So I just hope for the best to happen. And I expect the best for the future. Exactly. That is what Sir John also taught me. And I'm working on that. I'm not giving up. If I gave up, so I wouldn't be here now, right now, talking to you. But it's all that I believe that something better will happen, and there is always a shining star after the dark clouds. So I just hope and I believe that something better will happen, but I'm just surviving right now, whatever happens. So I just survive. Thank you, and I'm really thankful to you and Sir John. Uh, Thank you so much. And words, it's not enough, but I hope you understand it, that how much I'm thankful. What I've heard, what I've seen, saw by my eyes was not explainable, because a normal human, he cannot or she cannot afford seeing such things. The situation that I have gone through and I saw by myself, it was like unexplainable, undescribable. Words cannot describe that, but just it went. And now we hope for the best to happen. Believe in good things right now.
We are all one. Not two, not three. One.